Hey everyone, welcome to the channel, and thanks for tuning in to our latest film, Never Curse the Sun. This film has been over 5 years in the making, dating back to 2019 when my brother and I first hunted Kodiak the very first time. It's a story of highs and lows, and one that I still hold near and dear to my heart to this day. Along with this film, we're also doing a giveaway, so when you're all done watching, check out the link in the description and get yourself entered to win. We have teamed up with all the partners from this film to give away over $10,000 in prizes, including a fully guided deer hunt with Bighorn Outfitters right here in Wyoming. So again, thank you for tuning in, best of luck in the giveaway, and we hope you enjoy the film.
Hey Jeff, you got your radio on?
Yeah, gotcha.
Hey, we got a stud down up here on top of those rocks, so we're gonna get caping and quartering, and we'll give you a heads up when we're headed down.
Okay, sounds good.
Got some ramen, a delicacy up here. There's a fucking bear. Yep, there he is. Wow, that's a big bear. What do we do about this? What do we do in this situation here, bud? He's coming down.
Okay.
I need something to clean this off with.
Just hurry up. Just try to just pack everything as fast as you can.
Hey, bear. Hey, bear. Hey, bear. Hey, bear. We're gonna pack the quarters into.
Let's get out of here. We gotta go.
Hey, bear.
Let's go.
Hey, bear.
Get what you can get. Do what you can get.
Holy fucking shit.
Any idea where that was?
No.
I think there's more centered. Okay. I got it. It's mid-August on Alaska's Kodiak Island, and the low-hanging clouds and soaking rains welcome us back, just as we left her. It's been 3 years since my brother and I were last here, and despite the rain forecasted for the week ahead, there's no place we'd rather be. After hunting Alaska for the first time 3 years ago, there's a part of my brother's soul that never left. Between the snow-covered peaks and game-rich mountainsides, this place is heaven for him. But more than the animals, it's the challenges that he's fallen in love with. The float plains, the weather, high peaks, and the bears. He's not in complete control here, and he oddly welcomes that. Being a deer hunter at heart, the blacktails that inhabit this landscape sucked him in, but the ghost white creatures bouncing around the peaks didn't go unnoticed. Shortly after returning home from our last trip to the island, and against his wife's better judgment, he booked his return, but this time for mountain goats. Being a sucker for adventure myself, and feeling a sense of the big brother responsibilities, I've agreed to join him. He's put his heart, soul, and savings account into chasing this dream, and I admire the hell out of him for it.
Do you like your pillow real hard, or do you like it a little saggy?
About 3/4%.
Like a 3/4 kind of guy?
Anything above that hurts my neck. Anything
Kinda
below
floppy,
that doesn't
yeah.
work.
From the time we could walk, Jared and I have hunted together. Squirrels and grouse led the hunting camps and deer drives, and by our mid-20s, our range began expanding to the western states. We've broken ice on the Great Lakes guiding sea ducks, and we've pushed our luck on the skinnier waters of the west. He's wrapped me in his arms to stave off hypothermia, and I've held him in mine after giving him CPR. To say I trust him is an understatement. After I moved across the country to be closer to the wild things, the time we spent in the field together has rapidly diminished. But we've got 8 days ahead of us, and I look forward to every minute.
This is one of those moments where you're like, man, I signed up for this? Wait, hold up. Let me clarify. I paid money to do this? That's one of those where you question it. But you get back home a week later and you'll tell all your buddies cool stories and show them cool pictures. And like, man, I can't believe you did that. And you're like, yeah. But it sucks in the moment. Day 1 Kodiak. Battle in the scree.
After a decade of adventure hunts, I can confidently say that day ones aren't for hunting. In reality, it's a guide's way of seeing how much grit you've got, so he can plan the rest of the hunt accordingly. While I say this with a sense of humor, there's an awful lot of truth to it.
So you know how Will's wearing that Sika sub-alpine?
Yeah.
And it looks really good
Sure.
in the fucking alpine. I feel like that doesn't make sense to call it sub-alpine if it looks good in the alpine. I feel like things aren't really adding up with that. You know what I'm saying?
hold of Mr. Barclow?
Kinda, a little bit, yeah. I feel like we ought to have a conversation with him.
Good.
You know,
On the left side.
maybe we'll start our own thing. We'll make the same exact camo, but call it alpine camo. Where's that?
Let's just keep nailing.
I just heard there's like 35, 40 goats somewhere.
What? Goats?
Yep, look at all of them. Holy shit. That's cool. There's a whole herd of them, man.
Herd.
Yeah. We could. I'm not gonna shoot with a rifle, but you could.
Yes, I could. Yes, I definitely could. Let's go kill a deer on our way back to camp, have a nice early dinner, pack our shit up, and leave in the morning.
It would be a day's hike. But it's one of those deals where you take camp with. It's sort of a dead end. But they usually hang on that mountain between the steep stuff on the right and then up on those flats. But that's the last mountain before it drops into a big valley.
Okay.
But it's sort of a long shot to go to know if there's no billies in the group.
Right.
Because that's probably the only group of goats down there, being sort of the end of the range. 3 days going the other way,
Right.
we're going to run into a lot more huntable terrain.
Yep.
And I would expect to have, within this far a walk, 100 to 120 goats
Okay.
with more workable terrain.
Okay.
Years ago on the side of a mountain in the Yukon, a sheep guide made the comment to never leave sheep to find sheep. A rather simple statement, but one that still echoes in my mind to this day. I don't love the idea of heading the opposite direction of these goats, but there's whispers of good deer country down below, so I smile and follow along.
I see that. That one close is nice, though. He's like 700 yards off, but he's just a 3x3, but
I think he's a really nice 3x3. He's got a lot of time lapse to him. I feel like if we're gonna get him shot, we should probably go get him shot before he gets. Like, you should go shoot him before he gets off into a ditch and gets out of our sight without us seeing him ever again. You know what I'm saying?
he won't go far. Not worried about that yet.
Yeah, he is a real good deer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's go time.
What are you doing, Jay? You killing him?
Give me that scope one more time.
Not being the one to set this trip up, I'm apprehensive to be the first to take an animal.
Yeah, that's a nice deer.
Yeah, he's a real
Long beams.
wicked.
Hey, he's a pretty nice deer.
So kill him with a rifle.
Jared, hell-bent on staying true to his bow, pushes me to go first.
No issue with that. I will go range for it.
On the flip side, the filmmaker in me wants the higher probability of the rifle, but he resists. Both being as stubborn as the day is long, the sinking sun hastens our debate and I cave. A decision I pray I won't regret.
That's good.
Yeah, I'm good. Good. Shoot him. Nice shot. Nice shot, Jameson. Nice shot. That's pretty sweet. Just like a little pop.
Yeah, that's nice. He's a good, solid, mature deer.
No.
He's got really nice mass.
That's an awesome buck. Yeah.
Instantly, I'm reminded of the duality of hunting. A rather pure and primal act that gives me life and purpose, but takes both from another. It's a dilemma I've agonized over for years, and one that I believe all hunters should ponder along their journey. Why are you out here? What is it you're truly hoping to find? It's an answer that I believe will be ever-changing, if ever found. As for me, if I could retain all the thrills of the hunt, but avoid the kill, I believe I would. But then, that's a world that doesn't exist. For it would be like asking God to green the mountainsides, but hold back the rain.
It's fucking miserable. Like this is top. This is the wettest I've ever been in my entire life, for sure. I mean, I feel like I just want to slip in. So even with your rain gear on, so it's brutal. This is tough shit. But we're gonna carry the boats.
Leaving the Lincoln base camp behind, we used the rain day to move deeper into goat country. In anticipation of what the new terrain holds, we worked to a glassy knob and hunkered down to wait out the storm. Commendable efforts, at best.
First, I had a leak in my vestibule that leaked into my boot, filled up my boot. I figured that out, so I moved where I keep my boots. Thought I was, one step ahead of the game. No, then the wind just decided to rip my whole vegetable open. Everything's soaking wet. I don't have one piece of dry clothing for the rest of this adventure. And they tell you, wear your wet clothes, it'll dry it. Well, I'm 7 layers deep in wet clothes wearing the son bitches, and they ain't dry. But, I got no butts. That's it. That's it. No snacks, wet. We got 1 deer down, we got some more goats to go after. These goats are tough son of guns. I don't know how any animal can thrive out in this land, but they do. It's definitely gain a lot more respect for the animals out here that are thriving, because I am not thriving. Puts things in perspective, That's all I got.
The storm is yet to pass, but a break in the rain gives us a chance to move to more promising country. We haven't seen the sun in a few days now, and I'm beginning to regret the things I said about it.
Got to new camp called Epic. And they say when the clouds clear, it's pretty obvious as to why it's got its name. But we're in goat country, day 4. Weather's working us, but it's fun. You gotta embrace this part of it. So they tell me.
Taken by the sky. Taken by the sky.
Do you want to know why Stevie Nicks got famous? So she was actually, before it was Fleetwood Mac, they were looking for a guitarist, and he was dating Stevie Nicks at the time, and he's like, I'm only fucking going to be in the band if you guys, if you bring my girlfriend on. I'm like, oh, she's kind of got a voice that sounds like a hooker that smoked like 6-pack of cigarettes today. But just blew up. They had their first song. I think it was, I don't know if this was the first song or which one it was. Maybe The Chain or something like that. One of her big hits. And Fleetwood Mac just blew up. And then she went on to have her own musical career after Fleetwood Mac. But literally they almost didn't even bring her on. She sounds like she smoked a pack of cigarettes today. And, was walking down Sunset Boulevard. The more you know.
The better part of the last 4 days have been spent in a tent. The valley is completely socked in around us, and my focus is switched to trying to keep Jared in high spirits, though I worry about him. I pray for a break in the weather, for his sake and mine.
Well, we don't know if the fog's gonna lift. It might. We're hoping it is. We've been in the tent all night and all day. Bed sores are for real. It rained constant all night long and all morning. But we got a northwest wind now, so hopefully it'll blow the fog away tonight. Not supposed to be any more rain tomorrow. We need fog to go away and find some goats.
I've been paying on this trip for 3 years now, doing every bit of side work I can do. I'm an electrician, so picking up any sort of, whether it's service work or, I just did some lights in a big horse barn up near me, especially leading up to this, getting a few extra projects done, so I had a little bit of money to, for food and everything like that on the way up through, just to not have any stress on my, my wife or kid back home. I was working 14, 16-hour days most days, and, coming home and then working on the house, doing your normal stuff, being a dad. And this is how it turns out. More rain. About as depressing as it gets. We have, today's probably shot. We've got one day, maybe Friday morning as well, but one day to kill. Not even, truth be told, it's not even the rain so much, it's the fog. You can't see anything. You can't see 10 yards outside the tent. We are so socked in with fog. You don't even know that there's other mountains around you. You would think that you're on an island in the middle of the clouds by yourself. There's a 100,000-foot drop off. It's just, you can't even see. I haven't even looked at a goat. I'm not going to save up 10 grand again to come up here to, because this is the odds. This is the odds that you play. It's nobody's fault. This is just the odds that you play when you try to go chase mountain goats on Kodiak Island. I feel like there's nothing going right now, and there's nothing I can do about it. I'm fucking losing my mind. I feel like if I walk off this mountain without even firing a shot for the entire week, I think my wife's gonna divorce me. Legitimately. Like, that's what I feel inside. It's probably wrong, but like, I'm fucking losing my mind right now. Like, I can't sit another day in this fucking tent. I just feel like I'm just sitting here wasting. I'm watching money just drop on the tent every fucking second. Just go down the drain.
Gone is the question of how this camp got its name. It's our last day to hunt before heading back to the lake, and before coffee is even ready, we glass up a goat just a few hundred yards from the tents. There's no debate as to whose turn it is this time, and I see life again in my brother's eyes. This is why we're here.
I can't get a range.
Skyline, and all of a sudden he like flinches and bailed off, and within 10 yards of where the goat was, within 10 yards they all skylined. So I don't know what's going on. We had to stay back, but fingers crossed, man. If I can't cross them, fingers crossed. Come on, he's right there.
See him? Range him. 44. Yes or no?
Yeah, that's him. 42.
He's got his bow back.
not spoil what you have by desiring what you have not. Remember that what you now have was once the things you only hoped for. I find peace in that quote for both Jared and I. It would be easy to say that our trip didn't go as planned, but that would lead to the question of whose plan. With time, it's easier to see the values of adventures like these. Just as time alone makes you appreciate the time together, the rain makes you better appreciate the sun. Standing in one of the prettiest places on earth alongside my brother, I'm thankful to be a hunter. And as the focus changes to what we have, as opposed to what we have not, opportunity finds us.
Nice job. Oh, it's been a long time. Appreciate it.
We've made it through another of life's storms. We shared in the ebbs and flows of the mountains, and we did it together. And that's the part we'll remember. We've walked together in places many men have only dreamed, and for that, I'm entirely grateful. But as the memories slowly fade, I will continue to pray that someday we find ourselves back on the island again. As the faint rumble of our plane grows louder, I realize there has to be a return. And in a twisted way, I like that. We again will have goals that will require efforts, and that's the stuff that keeps you alive. But from this day on, I can promise you, I will never curse the sun.
There is no river that runs wide as your goodness. There is no mountain that stands tall as your faithfulness. There is no river that runs wide as your goodness. There is no mountain that stands tall as your faithfulness, and there's no